Hey, Patriots Nation. Today we're diving deep into everything happening with New England as we get ready for another crucial matchup. There's a lot to unpack, from potential injuries to breaking down offensive and defensive strategies. So let's jump right in. I want to focus on what truly matters for the Patriots and what could shift the balance this week. There are plenty of moving pieces, but one thing is clear: preparation and execution will be key. The Texans come into this game with certain limitations, and the Patriots have an opportunity to capitalize if they play smart football. First, let's talk about the Texans' offensive profile. They're sitting around the middle of the league in total offense. And when you break it down further, it's clear they're not dominating in any particular area. Passing-wise, they're slightly better than average, but their rushing attack struggles to consistently move the chains. The numbers tell the story. Their lead rusher is averaging below 4 yards per carry, and touchdowns on the ground are scarce. It's not the kind of explosive offense that can overwhelm a disciplined Patriots defense. Of course, every team has weapons, and the Texans have one standout wide receiver who can make a big difference: Nico Collins. Collins has been a key part of their passing game all season. He's been their top receiver, putting up solid yardage and multiple touchdowns, and he consistently creates explosive plays downfield. However, recent hits have raised questions about his availability. The play in question saw him immediately grab his head, struggling to make it off the field. If Collins can't play, it would remove one of the most dangerous elements from the Texans' offensive plan, and that could be huge for the Patriots. Christian Gonzalez, their top cornerback, is another key player, and while his status is also in question, many believe he's more likely to return than Collins. This could create a very different matchup on Sunday, as the Patriots would be facing a Texans offense without its most reliable receiving threat. Looking at the Texans overall, it's clear that their offense relies heavily on individual talent rather than a dominant system. Their quarterback has had flashes, but hasn't been able to consistently produce explosive drives without support from key players. Their running game, as mentioned, struggles to sustain drives or threaten the end zone. The combination of a potential absence in their top wideout and an average rushing attack makes them vulnerable against a disciplined and well-coached Patriots defense. This is a situation where New England can play smart, control the line of scrimmage, and focus on taking away the big plays while forcing the Texans to beat them with shorter, more methodical drives. Defensively, the Patriots have shown they can adapt and disrupt even highly rated units. Their performance against the Chargers was a perfect example of this. The Chargers had a top 5 rush defense and a top 5 pass defense, yet the Patriots methodically moved the ball, controlled time of possession, and ultimately put enough points on the board to secure the win. This shows that disciplined execution, smart play calling, and applying pressure at the right moments can overcome even the strongest units. The Texans present a similar challenge, but with key weapons potentially unavailable, the Patriots have an opportunity to replicate that success. It's also worth noting that while injuries are always part of the equation, smart roster management can provide additional advantages. New England has made some strategic moves recently, releasing a couple of offensive linemen while keeping depth options ready for key positions. This kind of flexibility allows the Patriots to adjust to unexpected situations and maintain a competitive edge, especially as the playoffs approach and every game becomes critical. When you combine solid depth, careful planning, and disciplined execution, the Patriots can effectively neutralize the Texans' biggest threats while exploiting their weaknesses. On the offensive side, New England has shown the ability to control games and sustain drives against strong defenses. The Patriots put up over 400 total yards against the Chargers, while keeping the ball for more than 32 minutes. That level of control is essential when facing a team like Houston, whose scoring is inconsistent and largely reliant on individual plays. By controlling possession and moving the chains efficiently, the Patriots can dictate the pace and force the Texans into uncomfortable situations. The key will be avoiding mistakes, staying patient, and executing both the run and pass effectively to keep the defense guessing. In addition, there's the psychological factor. Facing a team missing a star wide receiver can create confidence for the Patriots secondary, allowing them to focus on other threats without worrying about a game-changing deep pass. If Nico Collins is out, the Texans lose not just a receiving weapon, but also a player who draws significant attention from defensive backs, creating opportunities elsewhere. The Patriots can capitalize on that by being aggressive in coverage, anticipating routes, and potentially forcing turnovers. It's the kind of situation where preparation, film study, and strategic adjustments can make a real difference in the outcome. Another point to consider is momentum and morale. The Patriots enter this game after a strong showing against a formidable Chargers defense, and that kind of performance builds confidence across the roster. When players feel they can compete and win against tough opponents, it often translates into execution and discipline on the field. The Texans, by contrast, have struggled to consistently score against top defenses and have shown vulnerabilities when key players are sidelined. That combination sets the stage for New England to impose their game plan effectively, while keeping pressure on Houston to adapt without its most reliable receiving threat. Looking ahead to game day, the Patriots will need to balance aggression with caution. While the Texans may appear beatable on paper, execution is still critical. Limiting explosive plays, forcing the Texans into third-and-long situations, and controlling time of possession are all elements that can tilt the game in New England's favor. With Nico Collins potentially unavailable and Christian Gonzalez possibly returning, the Patriots will have a slightly altered defensive matchup, but the principle remains the same. Disciplined football, smart adjustments, and minimizing mistakes will give them the edge. Finally, the interplay between offense and defense cannot be understated. The Patriots' ability to move the ball efficiently while keeping the Texans scoring low will be a decisive factor. Controlling the clock and field position will force Houston into uncomfortable situations and reduce their opportunities to capitalize on their offensive strengths. The Patriots have already demonstrated the ability to manage games against top-tier defenses, and if they replicate that approach, they will be well-positioned to take advantage of the Texans' vulnerabilities, especially if their star receiver is sidelined. Execution, discipline, and strategic awareness will all come into play, making this matchup one to watch closely. Now, turning to the Texans' defensive side, it's clear they rely heavily on creating disruption and taking advantage of mistakes rather than consistently overpowering opposing offenses. They have some solid players in the front seven and in the secondary, but the overall scheme isn't built to dominate over the long haul. The Patriots can exploit this by maintaining disciplined blocking, using quick passes to neutralize pass rushers, and mixing in a variety of run concepts to keep the Texans guessing. It's a chess match, and New England has the coaching depth and experience to stay a step ahead. A key element for the Patriots will be controlling the line of scrimmage. The Texans' defensive line has talent, but when faced with well-executed schemes and sustained drive after drive, they can be worn down. New England's offensive line has demonstrated an ability to adjust to different pass rushers and blitz packages, which will be critical if Houston decides to bring pressure from multiple angles. Protecting the quarterback and giving receivers time to find openings will allow the Patriots to sustain drives and control both momentum and clock management. That combination is often what separates close games from dominant performances. Speaking of receivers, the Patriots' passing game has shown great balance and versatility this season. They've been able to stretch defenses with deep shots while also using shorter, high-percentage passes to sustain drives and move the chains. Against a Texans team that may be missing one of their top threats, New England's receivers could have more space to work, as defenders might shift focus to contain other areas of the field. Timing and precision will be critical, but the Patriots' quarterback has shown the ability to read defenses effectively, anticipate coverage adjustments, and deliver accurate passes under pressure. On the running side, New England has options that can keep the Texans off balance. By mixing inside and outside runs, counters, and draws, they can force defenders to hesitate and make decisions that open up lanes later in the game. Even if the Texans commit heavily to stopping the run, the Patriots can use misdirection and play action to create opportunities downfield. Maintaining this balance between run and pass is essential, especially against a defense that may overcommit to key plays, allowing the offense to dictate tempo and field position throughout the contest. Another factor to consider is situational football. The Patriots excel in third down conversions, red zone efficiency, and avoiding penalties, which can be critical in games against teams with inconsistent offenses. Houston's inability to sustain long drives consistently means that every defensive stop or offensive series can swing the momentum heavily. By capitalizing on these moments, New England can create pressure and force the Texans into mistakes that have a direct impact on scoring opportunities. It's not just about raw talent. It's about execution and making the most of every opportunity. The psychological edge also comes into play here. Coming off a strong performance against a top-tier opponent, the Patriots have momentum and confidence on their side. That sense of belief translates into disciplined execution, more aggressive play calling, and higher resilience in high-pressure situations. The Texans, on the other hand, may face a sense of urgency or frustration if their offensive weapons are limited, particularly if Nico Collins is unable to play. Confidence can shift quickly in these moments, and the Patriots are well-positioned to take advantage of it. Defensively, New England will likely focus on neutralizing key threats and forcing the Texans to rely on less experienced or less effective options. By applying pressure strategically, maintaining coverage discipline, and staying aware of formation adjustments, the Patriots can limit big plays and control field position. The combination of intelligent scheme adjustments, in-game awareness, and physical execution will be critical in keeping Houston's offense contained, especially when they might be missing one of their top playmakers. Special teams should not be overlooked. Field position, kickoff returns, and punting efficiency can all have a subtle but meaningful impact on the flow of the game. A well-executed special teams play can swing momentum, create scoring opportunities, and further tilt the field in favor of the Patriots. Against a team like the Texans, who rely heavily on defense to keep games close, even a single special teams miscue or standout play can be decisive. Discipline and attention to detail in this phase of the game will be another key factor for New England. In terms of game planning, it's clear that preparation and adaptability will be paramount. The Patriots have the advantage of an experienced coaching staff capable of making in-game adjustments based on how Houston responds. If certain players like Christian Gonzalez return while others, like Nico Collins, remain sidelined, the Patriots can adjust coverage, route concepts, and blocking schemes to maximize efficiency. The ability to adapt dynamically during the game is a hallmark of teams that consistently find success against opponents who may have individual talent but lack consistent execution. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Your support helps us bring you the latest updates on the New England Patriots. And of course, drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from Patriots fans. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL rumor mill, the New England Patriots reportedly made a bold addition to their roster, acquiring edge rusher Jaelan Phillips. While nothing is official beyond the whispers circling the league, sources suggest that if this deal goes through, the Patriots' defense could instantly shift into what fans are already calling playoff mode. Phillips, known for his explosive first step and relentless pursuit of quarterbacks, has long been considered one of the premier young defensive talents in the league. His presence alone could alter opposing offenses' game plans, forcing them to account for a player who can dominate both the line of scrimmage and the open field. Patriots fans, who have endured seasons of defensive inconsistency, are understandably buzzing at the thought of pairing Phillips with their existing core. What makes this rumor even juicier is the timing. With the team quietly looking to make a statement after some uneven performances last season, adding a talent like Phillips signals ambition beyond the regular season grind. Analysts are already speculating that a fully healthy, fully integrated Phillips could elevate the Patriots from a solid unit to one of the league's most feared defenses. Imagine a front seven where Phillips wreaks havoc off the edge while versatile linebackers and defensive backs capitalize on the pressure. Opposing quarterbacks may have little time to breathe. Of course, questions remain. Can Phillips stay healthy? How will he adapt to Bill Belichick's notoriously complex schemes? And, perhaps most importantly, can the rest of the defense rise to match the intensity of such a high-profile acquisition? The speculation alone is enough to get fans' hearts racing, and social media has already exploded with highlights, mock formations, and endless what-if scenarios. While the Patriots have not officially confirmed the signing, the mere possibility has reignited conversations about the team's playoff prospects. Could this be the move that finally solidifies New England's defensive identity and makes them a serious contender again? For now, it's a tantalizing rumor, but one that has supporters dreaming and opponents worrying about a Patriots defense operating at full throttle. That's it for today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving fresh and exclusive Patriots news, make sure to subscribe and hit like. We always appreciate hearing your opinions in the comments. See you in the next one, Patriots Nation.